Hi everyone. I hope you like the background behind me. That goes back to a few years ago when I spent some time in Kejimkujik Park in Nova Scotia, one of my favourite places in the world. Anyway, hi everyone. I'm putting up this post wondering how everyone is getting on with their rehearsing after the storm. This is another COVID-19 lockdown project aimed at getting people across the world and across cultures to sing together. You may be wondering how a project like this gets underway. It naturally starts with a germ of an idea. I use MuseScore 3 to note down musical ideas. Let me first start by saying I'm not a professionally trained musician, or not a professional musician anyway. I have a hobby in music and I've studied bits of music on and off throughout my life, singing in choirs and playing the mandolin at folk clubs and what have you in my earlier days. And then I learned to play the piano and I took piano lessons. I discovered in my mature years the wonders that computer MIDI software can do for creating music and how it can allow people to, like me, to have an access to writing music and getting instant feedback by playing back the music. I began with a software called Voyager Orchestrator. That's a mouthful, isn't it? But then Windows 8 and Windows 10 was launched and it disallowed me from using that format. But then MuseScore came along and a new vista opened up to me. So a germ of an idea starts and I play around with it, working out harmonies and then stretching and bending the ideas to make the piece a little bit more interesting to listen to. And here's an example of it on MuseScore. I guess that is the fun part, as in my mind, I hope that this could be sung by a real choir. This is where virtual choirs come into their own. So the idea part is the fun part, then the more challenging part of getting people interested begins. I take note of how other virtual choir leaders produce their work and engage their participants. I tend to create the work in different formats. For example, a video score scanning across the screen as the backing track plays. Me as conductor, not very practiced on that, I'm afraid. And finally, supplying the MP3 backing together with the PDF scores. To record the parts, I use Magic's video editor, which adequately mixes sound and images together in a multi-layered screen layout, which I'll show you now. Rehearsal backing track, I have used a combination of MIDI voice filtered through a sound font in MuseScore, converted into a WAV file, with my own voice recorded 3 times. I can't sing soprano, well, not now anyway. So if I do, I don't hit those high notes. I lower the sound a few semitones, sing falsetto in a register I can manage, then raise it up to the original pitch. Alas, it gets to sound a bit like the Chipmunks, but it serves the purpose. Receiving voice and video files is one of the most exciting parts. I split the voices from the video and collect up all the parts and load them into the video sequences. The job of nudging is important, as owing to the transport and types of files used, timing can get a little bit out. Consonants are a problem. So for those who sing in choirs, crisp consonants in a piece turns a good piece into an excellent piece. Then I mix down and collect all the parts and lay them down on the tracks to organize the video effects. That can be a complex process, and it doesn't always go to plan. Finally, the voices can be added to the video track and everything can be mixed down together, ready for publication. Well, that's the process. It can be rather long and drawn out, and the whole project can take several weeks from initial ideas to performance. I can say without the contribution of everybody who takes part, the song would never see its performance. It is with a great debt of gratitude to you who send your work that the project is performed. Thank you to everyone who's participated in my project so far. And if you're working towards it, well, thank you very much for when you come to send your files to me. Which reminds me, there are a couple of things that need to be mentioned. When you send your videos to me, can you send it via WeTransfer.com? You may prefer Dropbox. However, I have found Dropbox can be troublesome, and I have had problems with scammers saying that they are sending their soprano parts when in fact they're trying to break into my system. You can send your video to r.w.keoe, that's spelled Keoghoe, @gmail.com. You can see it at the bottom of the screen. Watch the spelling of my name. It's a weird one, I know. So this is Richard Keoe signing off, and thanks very much for watching. And I look forward to receiving your files. Great stuff, great work. Thank you.